Today we have an interesting topic, kind of based around the maybe later of Cuddle Party and how it's not always a clear answer within ourselves. We can have kind of confusion. And as the recipient of a maybe, kind of noticing, even it's an advanced skill, but that trying to notice the other cues from people besides their words to see if that might tell us what the real answer is. An example from Welcome Circle that I've kind of translated is, let's say someone offers someone a donut and they keep saying maybe later, but the fact is they are at a regular non-gluten-free bakery and this person has celiac. They are never going to have that donut. So saying maybe later doesn't really give their true answer. That could be different if they can have wheat, but they're trying to watch their calories or something. And then if their willpower changes, that might be a different answer. But basically dealing with the getting clear and receiving that and taking all the cues beyond just the words.
Oh, yes. I love the example that you use of a donut because it's like, who doesn't want a donut, right? Like, and how am I going to pay for that donut? And what is it's kind of like the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other, And the more I am steeped in Cuddle Party and in consent, really, and embodied consent, the more we get confronted with conflict and ambivalence. And so, there's this like, yeah, I really want that donut, but no, I don't really want the donut. Yeah, I want the donut. No, I don't want the donut. And what happens is that we show up with mixed signals. So, if you've ever had someone you're asking them and they're giving mixed signals, they're saying yes, they're saying no, they're saying this, and you're kind of like, that is what I have come to take is that ambivalence is, or that, that maybe later, just to take it as a no. And even though sometimes it'll sound like a yes, and we really want it to be a yes, but to accept that if it's not congruent, if it's not consistent, then we don't want to eat that cupcake either, And that can be hard. Or maybe sometimes we want to have just a little bit of the cupcake and then, we get sick if we need to, or whatever happens. If you're cupcake intolerant. But just, and that is one of the hard things of accepting limits, boundaries, and consent. Mean accepting limits, even though we want it to be different. That's one of the hard parts, and to have compassion for ourselves in that, to be like, oh, it's frustrating when people show up as inconsistent and ambivalent and then tell us that they're not being, right? That's kind of the crazy making part. But it's just, I think maybe for myself, it's another level of maturity to just be like, wow, I'd like you to be a yes, and you seem like you are, but the fact that it's inconsistent means I just need to take it as a no and move on. And that's the redirection. It's not necessarily rejection, but it's redirection, that I will be disappointed if I eat that cupcake.
And to bring in a little bit of the relationship agreements, if you just met someone at a Cuddle Party, you may not need to tell them the reason you're not having the cupcake donut is because you have celiac. But if you are in a friendship or some kind of connection with somebody, if they can't trust you to tell them that you have celiac condition and that's why you will never be eating gluten that they offer, how can they possibly be trusted to say even more vulnerable things down the road? So trust is so important, and we have to, I think, get it within ourselves.
Absolutely. Thank you,
Thank
Larysa.
you.